That's a remarkably large bag of no flavour right there.
Hello my peeps, this is Kat, aka Kakibot, and this is Kakibot's Guidebook. And today's video, surprisingly, is about Scotland. Even though we are clearly not in Scotland, we are still in Japan. This is our almost last day in this month-long trip. And we thought, you know, in this country you can find anything if you look hard enough. And we thought, can we find Scottish food in Japan? The answer, a little spoiler, is yes, and we are going to be visiting 3 places that cover this fairly niche cuisine in the world here in Tokyo and also slightly beyond Tokyo. So if you're interested in what the Japanese take on Scottish cuisine is, keep watching. So first up, we are off to Dini's, Tokyo's Haggis Oasis for the past 7 years or so. Dini's originally started as an offshoot of the London-based Scottish toastie bistro of the same name, which has been first visited by Yoko and kids years ago and started their love affair with both haggis and toasted sandwiches, which are not really often seen around Japan. Originally, there was a full-blown sit-down Dini's in Tokyo, but the building has now been torn down. I am glad to see that the food truck is still here. It's kind of tucked away in this little, like a community area, kind of like between buildings. And also they have changed names. They used to be Dini's and now they are called Way Tokyo. So if you're having any issues finding it, then follow the way. We ordered the classic haggis one. This is the, what is it, Hamish Macbeth or just Macbeth? I think it should be Hamish Macbeth to make it special Scottish. But yeah, this is the Macbeth. And this is the vegan lady. That's my choice because I do enjoy vegan haggis. So I'm gonna give it a go now. My cheeseless vegan haggis one. Yeah, that's delicious. It has like caramelized onions and mayo and I think a bit of lettuce. But otherwise it's just haggis and delicious kind of buttery crust, and it is something that I have been missing. This is our 4th week in Japan, so something like this really hits the spot. Simon asked me to also taste test the actual haggis one with cheese, so let's go. That's quite a mild haggis, I would say. I think that mine with the onion, the vegan one, actually tastes more haggisy than the meaty one. What's your verdict? It definitely looks warm.
Oh yeah, it's roasting. It's pretty dang good, but I think the balance is maybe a little more in favour of the greens and the cheese than the haggis.
It tasted vegetably, didn't it? Interesting.
It's very good though.
Okay, we'll try some of mine as well.
That's very damn good.
Right? You know what I mean?
Honestly, they're both good choices.
Okay. If you in any way want to partake in our plan of going to Japan and trying some Scottish/British food, this is probably going to be the place where it's going to be the easiest for you to do, because the place we're going to actually has over 100 branches all over Japan. This place is called Hub, a British pub, and in this area of Tokyo there's at least 4 of them, so I hope we picked the right one. The first Hub has opened in 1980, so this is a place with some serious history. Probably not as much history as most of the pubs in Edinburgh, but we'll see. I think that the menu might be a bit unhinged, so let's try some of the food that Japan kind of serves as British cuisine. Let's go! I think that we got like the last seat, but let's peruse the menu. This is the food menu, and they do have
the fish and chips. I like that it comes with the article. And the funny thing for me, kind of linguistically, is that not only it's called the fish and chips in the translation, but the is in the katakana transcription as well. Otherwise, it really reminds me of like a summertime picky bits at your mom's garden, because it's kind of a strange mix of kind of like British adjacent food, Spanish food, and Italian food. Although some of these sound kind of nice, like fried jalapenos, which are probably more American food, really. Ooh, grilled cabbage. That's, you know, you get that in like bush restaurants in Edinburgh. Within the drinks menu, the most fun thing is the Tower beer. We're not gonna get that. I don't think I would be ever able to do that. But they do have what seems to be their own beer, so we're gonna try that, I think. They also have Brewdog, which is very present here in Japan. I think Brewdog really has their paws in Japan now.
This particular hub had quite a fun atmosphere. The football game was on, the drinks were affordable, and the food was nice, although their fish and chips are more like a novelty starter than a regular fish supper. Simon said that their hub house ale was actually really nice, even though it was quite expensive for Japanese standards. I tried the matcha gin tonic. Gin tonic has started to be quite popular in Japan in the past year or so. Honestly, didn't taste too matcha-y, but it was refreshing.
And so that is us almost done with hub. There's, funnily enough, another hub just across the road from me. It's funny. Okay, yeah, we moved location, but the hub will keep following us around. Also, I have a hub in my tote bag because during prepping for this video, we went to one of the many konbinis in this country, and we found the hub corn fish and chip snack. Fish and fish. It's like surf and surf. Let's try those now. ASMR. I mean, it smells pretty much exactly like the fish and chips we just had, so. I would say the first flavor is tartar sauce. I wouldn't say this is in any way fish and chips adjacent, but thank you, Hub, for still trying to represent British cuisine. We found this in like a little discount candy store. It looks very retro. I love how in Japan the packaging design just hasn't changed in probably like 50 years. And it has a little Scotsman on it. The only cookie that I consider Scottish is shortbread, and this does not look like shortbread, so I'm kind of curious. It says saku saku oishi, crunchy tasty. There's like a breath of flavor, and I think there's like a little bit of sesame, and I can't say that sesame feels like a very Scottish flavor to me, but I do appreciate the illustration. So I would say on the Scottish scale, this is like 1 out of 10. On flavor scale, maybe 2 out of 10. This tastes like something you would eat when you're ill, like when you have gastrointestinal distress. Try the tasteless biscuit.
Tasteless biscuit. You're not going to bias me at all, are you? That's a tasteless biscuit. That's a remarkably large bag of no flavour right there.
Okay, so we made it to our last stop. This time we are a bit further afield because we are all the way in Yokohama. This is the Kanai district of Yokohama, which is really fun to walk around and do a bit of shopping. It has a large book off. If you know us, you know that we love to shop for secondhand books here in Japan. So we always return here. Also, if you're staying in Tokyo, coming to Yokohama, super easy. Really affordable, so why wouldn't you really? I can give you an extra reason because this is the home of Wyvern, the pub, the Scottish pub here in Japan that has really inspired me to make this whole video. I don't know, one day it just kind of popped up to me on Facebook. There's a Shiba Inu just there. Oh my god, did you guys see it coming through? Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I could see through like Simon's body language that there was a Shiba coming in. Anyway, we are gonna go to Wyvern now. They should be open. They open at 5. We're gonna check out if they truly do have homemade haggis as they tell us on their website, by which I mean their Facebook page. Anyway, yes, we're gonna check them out. Maybe have some whiskey too, maybe a highball. That's like the Japanese way of having whiskey, which is my favorite because I can't really take whiskey just straight up because I'm a weakling. Alrighty, let's go.
Wyvern was a really chill Japanese Scottish bar and in many ways scratched many of my going out itches. It had delicious food, a lot of my favorite drinks available, and also wasn't super loud at all. The patrons were having a chill chat by the bar and we were still able to hear each other. What a revelation. Anyway, the haggis here came the traditional way with tatties, and again the portion was kinda dinky, but the flavors were big and comforting. They also serve smoked fish, fish and chips, and sometimes also Cullen skink and Scotch eggs, which I do know are not technically Scottish, but delicious anyway.
And that's it, my peeps. Our last night in Japan before we pack our bags, hopefully, because we did buy a lot of stuff, and go back to Scotland and start making videos about Scotland and the UK again. But hopefully you still enjoyed this little kind of weird theme that we decided to try and make a video about, because yeah, why not? Isn't that what making content for you is about? To just come up with a weird idea and run with it. Now at this point I would love to hear from you. What did you think about the valiant effort of Japanese people in terms of bringing Scottish cuisine and like wider British cuisine into Japan? Yeah, I'd like to know what you thought based on what you saw, or maybe if you've ever tried any of this, and if you'd like to, if you know this was the first time of you learning about there being Scottish cuisine available in Japan. For me, I thought that especially some of the haggises were quite impressive, but a bit like low on the spiciness, which is surprising. I don't think, you know, Japan does like things relatively mild, but this is, compared to a good Scottish haggis, was very like unpeppery. So that would be like my 2 cents on the haggis. However, otherwise it was still very delicious, and I would have haggis here again if I ever moved here and I was homesick. I now have a Patreon page. I also have Instagram, either Kakibot or Kakiblog. Kakibot is more of an illustration thing. Kakiblog is more of a travel thing. And on Patreon, you might get like a bonus video or 2 and maybe some sort of discount for my store in the future if you become my patron. Yeah, support what I make, please. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, to the end of this like quite niche video, someone was just kind of Naruto running there. Hopefully we got that in the video. Anyway, yes, I'm off to pack and I will see you soon in Scotland. Bye.